Sounds pretty necessary to me that you have passion about the church. I'm going to ask all of you to stand this morning. I'm going to ask our praise team to come back. And that picture that's up there, I want you to just leave that picture there. This guy that's in front of you up on the screen, the one who had such a vision and such determination to do God's work that even death couldn't stop him. I can follow him. He's worthy of being followed. He's worthy of having passion about it. He's worthy of being worshipped. He was beaten, he was mocked, he was put to an open shame, and finally he was crucified for you. Well, who am I? I'm going to tell you something this morning that you may or may not. You may have heard this, but maybe you never understood it. You are the church. He did all this for you. Now, as you're in the house of God this morning, it's between you and God. If you're lacking passion about what Jesus had passion for, which is you, if you're lacking passion and you're not doing the things that you ought to do, the things that you could do, listen, you can never do too much for God. You can never do too much for God. He wasn't dignified like the church wants to make him. He didn't wear these fancy clothes and have his locks perfect and have his beard. It's not Jesus. I'm sorry. He was a wild man. And he came into a religious world. He came into a world where the temple was established. And there were people who thought they were so godlike, but they were so far from it. He was so passionate. As we draw closer to Passion Week, I want to challenge you this morning. Josh and myself will be standing up here. And if you want to grab us by the hand and tell us what you want us to join you in prayer about, we'll do so. If you just need to come to an altar and talk to God, you're free to do that. But as we draw closer to our Passion Week here at the church, I know this is a little different. I know if you've been here before, you probably say, well, I never heard him preach like that. Our world likes passion. Our world's lacking passion. There's people who think that the church is something weak, that the church is something that's not necessary. But the one that we follow believed in it so much he died for it. The one that we follow had so much passion and so much zeal about it that he looked Pharisees straight in the eye and said, you're a bunch of snakes and you're a bunch of vipers. You're making money in the house of God. I made my own whip and I'm driving you out. You tell me he wasn't a passionate fellow. As we draw close to Passion Week, I want to challenge you this morning. Put your passion in a place where it will benefit you and all of those around you. I'm talking about your children. I'm talking about your spouse. I'm talking about your friends, your acquaintances. Passion's contagious. If you like passion, we'll go back up here to Psalms 92:13. Those who are planted in the house of God shall flourish. Here's my challenge to you this morning. Plant your household in the house of God today. Plant your children in the house of God today. Plant your marriage in the house of God today. It will flourish. It will flourish. You try to do this half-heartedly and be a sermon listener and just show up every so often. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't preach this to you. But if you do that, you don't even know who Jesus is. As they sing this morning, there's a challenge that's being given. If you lack passion in your life, plant it in the house of God here this morning. As they sing, why don't you come?